the hidden misalignment in life, in business, and in your personal growth. Now, this is a 3-part series that I'm going to be talking to you about around how you can come into more alignment in your life. Now, where this concept come from that I'm going to share with you is a guy called Ben Harper, who is a coach in Australia. And he did a workshop and he spoke about the internal and external motivators that we have. Now, this isn't anything new. We have it in psychology around intrinsic and extrinsic motivators. And I'm just going further into that space through my own experiences, through what I know in my practice, and through learning more about it. So let's get started. What is alignment? Now, I talk about alignment a lot, and I talk about it within our internal systems of when we're trying something and we're finding that we can't get it, we're challenged with something, there will be parts of us that are out of alignment and in resistance to the thing that we want. So I do a lot of parts work in my counseling practice, and I do a lot of work around alignment and coming into alignment and integration. I want to bring this also into business, personal growth, life in general. So let's bring this space into that area. What we want to do is bring the practical with the internal. We want to bring them together. And in order for us to do that, we need to know what's the difference. So what's the difference between practical motivators and internal motivators? So firstly, practical motivators are more of your external things that you get. So material things, they're goals, strategies, they're cognitive thinking, problem solving, relationships, because we can't control other people, so they're external to us. It's the planning that we do, the discipline, the routine, the structure, and the consistency. So showing up, it's the showing up side of things, it's the doing. Those are the practical things. And then what we have, so we've got that area. What I'll speak into too is when this becomes out of balance, if we are too practical or if we're not practical enough, we will find that it will impact our goals, our businesses, and our life. And I'm going to speak about that in the next part of this series. So this is why I'm bringing it in. So the next part in this series is the internal. So what's the internal motivators? What are the internal things that influence our decisions, our life, and whether we achieve the thing that we want? So we've got our internal motivators, and those are things like why we're doing what we're doing, why we want that goal. And that can come from our shadow self, so our wounding, our past traumas. We could be running away from a feeling that we don't want. And it can come from the light, the potential, the higher self. And so what we want to do is we want to understand both of those parts. We want to understand it's kind of like in counseling, it's the wounded healer. So we want to know, as a healer ourselves, if we're in that healing industry, we want to know, why have we chosen this? Is it from a place of trying to heal ourselves, or is it from a higher place? And see, it probably will be both, as long as you're aware of it and you're not projecting that in that space, so going into rescuer mode and those sort of things, then that is when you can be more in reality. And I will go into that in the second video. So then we've also got in the internal, it's like our inner purpose. What gives us purpose? It's emotional, it's our values, it's our strengths. And when I say strengths, it's our innate strengths that we don't even know are strengths. It's the needs that we have, or the unmet needs. And so this means if we've got unmet needs, we may not be going directly for them. So that impacts our decision making. It impacts the practicality of things. It's our addictions or our addictive tendencies. We've all got addictive tendencies, and some of us may have worked through addictions as well. It's our attachment to people. It's our attachment to relationships and how we show up in attachment. It's our coping mechanisms, our woundings, our subconscious parts, our subconscious in general. It's the state that our nervous system's in, and it's our intuition and energetics. So you can see how much goes into our everyday decision making. So when it comes to alignment, we need to take into consideration all of these areas, so the practical and the internal. And when this becomes out of balance, which is very common because we need to come out of alignment to come back into it. So that's the contrast we need. What can happen though is when this is out of balance, it can be really big out of alignment sort of things that happen and get manifested. And we don't need something to become really bad where it goes into crisis mode before we change it. We don't need to suffer severely before we change it. We can actually work in the subtleties of the feedback that we're receiving to be able to go in and out of alignment and grow at the same time. So it's kind of like this, not this. So we don't want those big highs and big lows. In the next part 2, I'm going to speak about how the misalignment and the leaning too practical and too internal, how it manifests in our everyday life in a practical way. So I'm going to give you practical examples that you may resonate with. And from there, we'll go into then part 3. So I'll see you in part 2.